Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at SOL. Do we think that there's more upside here or is this going to continue to dump? These are the questions we're going to be answering shortly. Thank you for watching this video, and if you'd like to show your support, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and feel free to comment with any feedback that you may have. While you're down there, you can find a link to the Discord. Why not come down and have a look? Once you're in the general chat area, just mention one of the staff and we'll be always happy to help you out. Also in the description, you'll find an affiliate link to BYBIT. This is one of the best exchanges in our opinion. If whether you want to leverage trade or just spot trade, it's the one that we use when we do our trades. It really is a great exchange. Okay, so let's get into this price action now. So if we have a look here, I've got a few potentials, and this is one that I'm keeping an eye on. The main reason that I'm looking at this is if we have a look at the 4-hourly stochastic and the 8-hourly stochastic, there's potential that we could see some growth here, though we need to bear in mind that the daily is still in the overbought position. So if we come back down here to the smaller time frames, basically what we're looking for here is the potential that we have an expanding flat correction, and what that is it's a correction that is a 3-3-5 move, and basically these internal waves will be 3, 3, and then 5 waves to the upside. So we are looking for evidence that we could potentially be having a 5-wave move to the upside here. So the typical zone for these to travel is this zone that I've laid out here. So that would be between this 2168 and this 1964. Though it all depends on the structure. Sometimes these might not move as far, and there is a possibility that it could be a running flat, which we're going to go over as well. So let's do this first. Okay, so this current move down that we're looking at here, this teal ABC, is looking like a corrective move, and it's looking like we could potentially move down some more here. So given the current structure here, it looks like we have a small 5-wave move by the look of it, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into these lows. Um, and basically this teal movement to the downside, this ABC to these lows, would still be valid provided we stay below this 1438 area, in which case what we could see, if this is just going to be an A, a B, and a C, what we might see is actually that this comes down as a 1, we move up in a 2, we drop back down in a 3, 4, and a 5. So if that is the case, what we'd be looking for with this potential is, provided this is a completed move here, we could be looking for a move. Let me get in on this. So let's drag this over to the side a little bit so everyone can see it better. Okay, so a move to between this 1382 and this 1414. That would be an ideal area that we would be looking for rejection within this move. So this would be this little area right in here. Now, if we do move up into this area and we face rejection, then basically what we'd be looking for is either on this 618, which is this previous support zone here, we could be looking at confirmation of this move to the downside being a move below this 1225 area. So should we move up to this area, find rejection, move down to this 1225 area, that would be confirmation that we're within this deeper corrective move here in the C wave. So this would take us slightly lower than this 1-to-1 because then we would have a bounce up and then we'd have an additional sell-off down here. And maybe we might look to target out towards this 1169 area, but it would be somewhere between this range based on this current structure if it develops as we've got plotted here. Though we need to bear in mind, if that's the case, a move back above this 1438 area would invalidate any kind of a potential 5-wave move to the downside. So we would have to just be aware of that. So depending on how that 5-wave move ends up, it could be in the lower end of this box. But what we're looking for is, if this is the case, we'd be looking for once this completes in the second yellow wave here, we'd be looking for a move to the upside in this third wave. And basically what we'd be wanting is we'd want to see some progression in here and a 5-wave move to the upside. We want to take out these highs here at 1438, as well as these highs over here, which is at 1498. So we want to take these highs, and then basically that stops this from being able to extend to the downside. So we could, once that occurs, this would be confirmation. Would ideally, the ideal wave would come up here to this 20 47 area, and then we would look for a fourth wave and a fifth wave up again. So this should find support in this zone that's indicated here between the 1685 to this 1905. That would then lead for an additional push to the upside here. And all of this move is looking for this fourth wave. So the fourth wave could be, it could be a number of things here. So it could end up being a bigger correction, which is not going to play out like we've got plotted here. But it's this is what I'm tracking at the moment, and I think this is quite a likely option, given the state of the SRSIs on the lower time frames. Though we have to bear in mind that daily is still overbought, so this could fall apart. So we'll have to monitor it. But this is the expanding flat option. So now if I just quickly jump into here, if we just change this over. So looking at this slightly different, because technically if this wanted to be a running flat in a fourth wave position, then let me just get this on here so I can show you. Oh, it's not having it today. Okay, here we go. So we can see that we've only just missed out on this 0.618 area, and that's often considered like the minimum area that a 5 wave move is going to move on an expanding flat. So I'm just, even though it hasn't hit it, I'm just keeping an eye on it, because sometimes these things you have to take it with a pinch of salt, and it's one of those. Basically, if we continue to move to the downside, then I would say that this is the likely case. And actually, what we've had is the fourth wave's completed into this area, and then we're starting a sell-off to here. So if we're looking for downside potential within this move, and we aren't thinking we're going to move back above these levels, basically what we'd have to do is treat this as a 1 and a 2 in this zone here, and then we would be looking for additional confirmation that we were in a deeper move here. So what we would be looking for is obviously not passing above this 1438 and 1497. Then what we would want is pretty much the same thing as we were looking for previously, where this is a 1, we move up in a 2, but then we would want this third wave to start becoming to extend and be impulsive. So I don't have it marked on here. Should have actually kept it on this one as well, but we will just mark it up quickly here. So let's drag this down to there, and we lined it up with this previous support zone here. So basically, a move past this 1227 area would be a so it's 1225 on the off of these lows. So if we get a move down like that, then what we could potentially see is a little bit more of an extension, um, and we could see these waves slightly extend out, where we get a deeper move, which comes further down, and then we look to cross this impulsive trigger here. This is all speculative until we get the waves, but this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to provide a roadmap here, so we've got an idea of what's going on should we get these moves. Like I said, breaking above this is not allowed, so this would invalidate the bigger 5 wave move to the downside that we have plotted here. And if that is the case, what we'd then be looking for is a potential drop deeper down here. So if we were looking at this potential, we would be looking at this as a from this low point up to this high point here. Let's eyeball that in there. So we would have technically met it by dropping back down into this zone. So potentially this $10.52 to $9.52 area could be quite an interesting spot should we hit this impulsive trigger. Obviously, it would depend on how the waves form exactly. And if that was the case, then basically what we would be looking for is rather than having this target area here, which is from the expanding option, we could then be looking at this as a potential third wave completed, and then we would be looking for a rally, and that rally could potentially take us up into this zone of into this zone again of this 2060 to 1472. So if that's the case, we could be looking for a bigger rally to the upside here. There is potential that it could go even higher than this. If I go into the daily, sorry, this is actually this fourth waves area. So disregard what I said. The fourth wave could travel as high as this 36.77, and anywhere between this $13 to $36 range. But this would be the top end of a fourth wave typical correction. So it is possible we could see that downside come in, and then, but I don't think that this option is as likely, because I don't think the daily would have, because if we have a look at the daily stochastic, it's still overbought. So unless that came down dramatically within this drop, I would think that we would probably have to move up and then down and then up again, to just so that it can reset. If I come back down here into the 1 hour again, we just have a look at this. So yeah, basically that's what we're looking out for this potential that we have a running flat here. I don't really like it because we haven't quite hit that target area of that 618. So I'm just keeping an eye on it, but in case we do break down, if we don't break down though, however, we could still be looking for that for that other additional 5 wave move to the upside. So there's one other option that I just wanted to talk about while we are here, and let me get rid of these actually. These 5 wave moves here. This, and this. There we go. And back onto this object tree. Turn this off, turn this on. So let me drag this out the way, and we can get rid of this. We don't need. Oh no, we do need this one. Okay, so with this option, basically, we could also still see the potential to have a triangle in this location. So it would be very early days on this. We wouldn't have even formed the C wave if that's the case, and you only get confirmation on this D wave. So I don't want to say that it is a triangle yet because we don't have enough information. Though, should we have a move up instead of forming a 5 wave move up, should we move down into the support zone, potentially to this 0.618 area, and then move back up to a 1-to-1, which is this 1690 area, then potentially what we could be setting up for is a bigger triangular pattern here, where we have this as an A, a B, a C, a D, and an E. Once again, we'd only get confirmation of this by dropping down into this D wave location. This trend line could be slightly different. It depends exactly how it's going to form. It just needs to be higher than this 1094 area. Anywhere above that is all good. So that's basically it. This option we would need more time for. It's not very useful, but it's just one thing to look out for. If we move up towards this 1-to-1 area, 1690, and fail to carry on developing impulsively, it's possible that either we have a WXY here and it's going to look to break down, or we have a triangle and we're going to find support above this 1094 area. So that's just something to bear in mind with all of these other options that we're going over. So those are all the things that I can currently see for it, and I hope that you find this video informative. And if you did, and you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. This really helps us out. I hope everyone has a great day, and until we meet again in the next video, keep safe out there, everybody.